Have you ever wondered why schools teach you algebra and history, but never how to manage money or build wealth? It's a huge question, and the answer might surprise you. The traditional school system is designed to create good employees, not necessarily wealthy individuals. It teaches us to follow rules, work hard, and get a steady paycheck. But is that the only path? Today, we're diving deep into the ideas that can completely change how you think about money, work, and your future. Let's start with a fundamental difference. The mindset of an employee versus an entrepreneur. An employee typically works for security and a predictable salary. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's a trade-off. You trade your time for money. An entrepreneur, on the other hand, works to build systems that make money for them. They can't rely on a guaranteed paycheck, so they are forced to understand how money truly works to survive and thrive. This distinction is at the heart of the famous book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The author, Robert Kiyosaki, had two father figures. The lesson wasn't about the wage. It was about seeing opportunities that others, focused only on their salary, would miss. Think about the board game Monopoly. It's more than just a game. It's a brilliant lesson in financial strategy. What's the formula for winning? You buy properties, and then you build 4 greenhouses on them. Once you have 4 greenhouses, you can trade them for one big red hotel. That's the core formula for wealth building. Buy assets, improve them, and then scale them up. You start small, acquiring little assets, and grow them into major cash-flowing machines. This concept is mirrored in real estate through something called property. An investor might buy up several small, adjacent pieces of land that aren't very valuable on their own. But once they are combined into one large parcel, the value skyrockets. They've created something much greater than the sum of its parts. This is the entrepreneurial mindset, in action, seeing potential where others see nothing. The key takeaway here is the absolute importance of owning assets. True wealth doesn't come from your salary. It comes from acquiring assets that generate cash flow. An asset is anything that puts money in your pocket, like a rental property, a business, or stocks that pay dividends. A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket, like a car payment or a mortgage on the house you live in. The rich focused on building their asset column, while many others just accumulate liabilities they think are assets. This shift in focus is everything. Of course, the path of an entrepreneur is not smooth. It's filled with risk and the constant possibility of failure. You will face financial challenges, market crashes, and maybe even betrayal from people you trust. But here's the secret. Successful entrepreneurs don't just accept this reality, they embrace it. They understand that every failure is a lesson, a stepping stone to growth. While an employee might be devastated by losing a job, an entrepreneur sees a setback as an opportunity to pivot, learn, and come back stronger. It's this resilience that separates the successful from those who give up. Ultimately, your mindset is what creates your reality. Poverty and wealth begin in your head, with your thoughts and beliefs about money. It's the reason why some lottery winners go broke within a few years, while self-made millionaires who lose everything can often rebuild their fortunes. They have a wealth mindset. Your language plays a huge role in this. When you say, "I can't afford it," you shut your brain down. It's a statement of defeat. But if you ask, "How can I afford it?" you open your mind up to possibilities. Your brain starts working to find solutions. This simple change in language can be transformative. This is why it's so important to be careful who you learn from. There are real teachers and fake teachers. Fake teachers are those who teach theory they've never put into practice themselves. Think of a business professor who has never actually run a business. A real teacher, on the other hand, practices what they preach. They teach from experience, from their successes and their failures. These are the mentors you want to seek out, and you can't do it alone. Building wealth requires a team. No successful entrepreneur is an expert in everything. They build a team of trusted advisors, an accountant, an attorney, a banker, and other mentors. These people help them navigate the complex problems that arise daily in business. To build wealth, you need to understand the language of money, which includes 3 key areas that schools typically ignore: accounting, debt, and taxes. Accounting isn't just for accountants. It's the skill of reading financial statements to understand the health of a business or an investment. Debt isn't always bad. There's good debt, which is used to buy assets that generate more income than the debt costs, and bad debt, which is used for liabilities and taxes. The wealthy understand tax laws to legally minimize their tax burden, while others just pay whatever they're told. This financial literacy is the real education you need. Remember, growth comes from making mistakes. If you're not making mistakes, you're not trying anything new. You're staying in your comfort zone, and that's where dreams go to die. Each failure is a form of spiritual growth, teaching you resilience and wisdom that you can't learn from a textbook. The goal is to escape the paycheck mentality. Stop thinking about trading your time for a fixed amount of money. Start thinking about how you can build or buy assets that will pay you over and over again. This is the path to financial freedom. Be aware that your beliefs about money are often inherited. We learn about money from our parents and the people around us. If you grew up in a family where money was seen as the root of all evil or a source of constant stress, you may have to unlearn those limiting beliefs. It's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to change them if you want a different outcome. So, what's your game? Is it business? Real estate? Investing in paper assets like stocks and bonds? You have to find the field that excites you and dive in. Real education doesn't come from memorizing theories in a classroom. It comes from getting out into the real world, solving real problems, making real mistakes, and learning from them. That's how you truly become wealthy. So, start today. Ask yourself, how can I afford the life I want? Start learning the language of money. Find a mentor. And don't be afraid to take that first step, even if it's small. Your financial future is in your hands, not in a school curriculum. Thanks for watching. If you found this valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content that challenges the way you think. See you next time.